All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. We are. Yes. Fantastic, fantastic. Welcome, traders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have it on the wrong screen, don't I? I do too. Anyway, let me just do bam, bam. Alrighty, I think we are good to go. All right, fantastic, fantastic. Let's go. We just do bam, bam, bam. Alrighty, guys. Looks like we are good to go here. Welcome, traders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another edition of the market update time. Excuse me. Alrighty, guys. Hope you guys had an amazing day today, watching the markets and looking at the markets. And hey, Profit, looking at the markets and watching the markets and what's going on there. And yeah, so today I'm going to give you guys a bit of an update. I'd say, are we about to see a turnaround in the markets? And that's what I'm going to be focusing on in today's session here with that there. So apologize, guys, for my throat. It seems to be a bit crackly right now, but I will get through it. I will get through it. Anyway, traders, so let's get straight into... Hey, Marshmallow. Hey, Yanni. All right, so let's actually get straight into today's session. And I'm going to start getting into the education side of things. All right, guys, before I do start, all right, traders, before I start, do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. You know, there's no guarantees of making money in the markets, and it takes you a long time to become a good trader. Then there's so many areas you need to know to become a good trader, right? Mindset, chart reading, the framework, how you think about the trading. There's a lot of areas you need to know. It's just not the trading systems. But let me just do this here. Alrighty, fantastic. All right, cool. Here we go. Alrighty. Now, guys, if you haven't done so yet, then make sure you head on down to mastertraderlab.com to grab your free trial to test it all out. Plus, I'm giving away all these free bonuses. But also, guys, what I'm doing here is this as well too. Okay, what I'm doing here for anyone that joins the Master Trader Lab, gets a free trial to that, obviously, to check it all out. But what I'm also going to be doing is real soon, I'm going to be doing a live coaching session. And on that live coaching session, I'm going to be revealing all the details to my #1 trading system that I trade on every market, on the stock market, on the Forex market, on the futures market. It's the exact same system. I'm going to be revealing all the details to that exact same system, exactly what I look for in a setup, exactly what I look for in an entry bar, and all those details. So I'm going to not only do you get all the specials and you get a free trial to test it out, but real soon, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a live coaching session for the Master Trader Lab members. And on that session, I'm going to be revealing all the details where this trading system can generate up to a 90% success rate in your trading. I'm going to teach you the trading system, and also I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do to generate up to a 90% success rate, how you need to approach the markets and the mind frame, the mindset, all those things that goes into getting a real high win-loss ratio in the markets. So I'm only doing this for a very short time frame, because I'm going to be running that session for you. I'm going to be running for the session for the Master Trader Lab members with all the details of that system. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure you head on down to mastertraderlab.com, grab your spot there, because I'm only doing this for a short time frame, and then obviously then because once I actually do the actual live coaching session, then obviously this offer will be taken down. So there we go, guys. I've got a lot of questions about my trading system and so on and so forth. The only people who actually know my trading system are my high $10,000 and $20,000 private clients. They're the only people that know my trading system. All right. So, but what I'm doing right now, just as a special, and just as an extra bonus, and just to help people out in the Master Trader Lab, I'm going to be teaching the system and teach you exactly how I trade the Forex market, how I trade the futures market, how I trade the stock market. Now, I trade the exact same system across all those markets, but I'm going to teach you exactly what I do with that system and how you need to approach it and so on and so forth. Not just the trading system, but I'm also going to be teaching you exactly how to approach the market so you can generate a real high win-loss ratio. So with that being said, guys, let me continue on now from this. Let me go and bring this over here. Let me bring this tab into the main window here. All right, fantastic. We are. Let's go and have a look at what's happening in the markets right now. Okay, so firstly, guys, what we see here on the markets is pretty much today was a nothing day. And for me personally, I'm looking on the short term on this Dow Jones. Looking as for me personally, looking on the Dow Jones right now, we're still going sideways here on the short term. I'm still looking for this level to be broken in the market now. So for momentum to start the shift to the downside, I do believe we're getting to some sort of a tipping point here. And I'll get to that in just a minute, but I do believe we're getting to that here. And so we can see this market just going sideways. Once we get for me personally, and it's probably even a bit higher now. It's probably come up to this 24,200 level for me now, due to the fact we're getting this cluster of small candles through here. So this cluster of small candles on the Dow Jones, if we get a nice close below this 24,200 level, then that's going to tell me that momentum is now starting to shift on the downside. This is on the daily chart, guys. Okay, we can get short-term momentum shifts. So, for example, guys, if I look at this, the way I talk about momentum shifts, and I can talk about this actually for people who are actually part of my Master Trader Lab, I'm going to be doing a full, complete breakdown of how to read the momentum, and it'll take me a while. So I don't want to do a full session on it now, but it'll take me a while. But I will be, for the Master Trader Lab members, I will be doing a full breakdown of how to read the momentum. So the momentum here, it went from up, and the momentum shifted here from this candle here, shifted from the upside to the downside. This candle happened here. This next candle happened here. So the momentum here is down. Momentum here is down. Momentum here is down. Momentum here is down, but cautionary. Okay, cautionary, but the momentum hasn't changed to the upside yet. Momentum hasn't changed to the upside yet. Momentum hasn't changed to the upside yet. Momentum still down. Momentum still down. Momentum still down. Momentum still down, still down, still down, still down. And then we had this big candle here, and then it was this one here. So looking at my momentum, again, it's not an indicator, it's just how I read the candles, the highs and lows and so on and so forth. Again, it probably takes me about half an hour to really walk you through all the details of that and fully understand it. But as you can see, right, my momentum indicator, it actually shifted. It was this candle here that shifted from the momentum was down, and then we shifted on the short term to the upside. Now, what I'm talking about here, guys, what I'm talking about is short-term momentum, right? Because what happens on a daily chart, you can have momentum shifting for a few days, and then the momentum will shift, right? It's understanding how to read these bars. So this bar here was when the momentum shifted to the upside and the momentum took off. It was this red candle here that momentum shifted from the upside to the downside. And then we had the momentum shift all the way down until this candle right here. This candle here, it wasn't this big candle here, but it was this big candle here, said that momentum is shifting to the upside. All right. And then what ended up happening, we had market came down. This one here told me that we're getting ready for a potential shift back to the downside. Was this candle here. It didn't happen. The very next candle shifted, and then the momentum for me picked back up on this candle here, and momentum has still been, and ever since then, the momentum's been up. It's just the way that I read the markets, guys, the way that I read the candles. So you can see what I'm talking about here when it comes to the momentum shifts in the markets. There's a lot of things you can learn about when trading the markets, but that's actually one of them, where you can really learn the momentum shifts in the markets there. So yeah, so I hope you can see, guys, that that's what I'm looking at here. So if we get a nice close below this 24,200, that's going to be a momentum shift back to the downside. Again, we're talking about the short-term day-by-day basis here, guys. Okay, so momentum shift on the downside means momentum might be only down for 1 day, or it might be down for a week, or like this one here, right? From this point up here to all the way down here, we might have a momentum shift all the way down until this point through here. But the way that I read the candles and the way that I read the highs and lows of the candles and so on and so forth, it tells me when momentum is shifting on that short term. And as I said before, ever since we've had this green candle here, for me personally, on that day chart, we've had momentum shifting to the upside. Now we're still momentum is shifting to the upside. There hasn't been nothing changed yet. So there is nothing bearish to say we're now getting ready for a turnaround. So I don't know whether we're going to get a close below. You can't pick the highs and lows from the momentum shifts in the markets. But what you can do is when the momentum does start to shift, you can then respond to the markets, as you can see through here. Makes sense? So that's what I'm looking for there right now, to see whether we're going to get a momentum shift. And when we actually do get the close below the 24,000, let me just delete that off screen, get a close below the 24,200, that's going to be a momentum shift to the downside. And also what's going to happen is we're going to get this looks like it's going to be a nice close below this sort of trend line as well too. So when that happens, then we should start to see a bit more of a follow through on the downside. Now, it may be a sharp move down and we may start to break below the lows of December last year, or it may not be. So that's basically what I'm looking at there. Now, right now, we're not seeing a turnaround yet. Okay, yet. Now, on the S&P 500, the interesting thing, guys, is that the Dow Jones hasn't shown a momentum shift yet, but what I'm seeing right now on the S&P is I'm getting a bit of a cautionary to say that momentum looks like it possibly could be slowing on the S&P. We haven't got a confirmation of momentum shift yet. For me personally, I need to close below the 2,600 to see a momentum shift from the upside to the downside. This green candle here was indeed when the momentum shifted to the upside, and the momentum all through this time, even through right now, has been up. Momentum has been shifted to the upside. So that's basically what we're looking at there. So once again, if we get a nice close below 2,600, that tells me then we're probably going to see a nice move back down from there. Same for the NASDAQ as well too, guys. Same for the NASDAQ as well too. As we can see here, let me just so for me personally, guys, and this was actually a very, very interesting one here on the NASDAQ, but it was really weird, right? So we had a bit of a conjunction to show that, right, this candle here, right, for me personally, the momentum shifted to the downside, and then the very next candle, it shifted back to the upside. And then ever since that candle, we've had momentum to the upside all along. We haven't had a momentum shift back down. So momentum right now is still on the bullish side on that short term, okay, on this daily chart through here. But for me personally, I need to see a close below that 6,900. Once we get a close below the 6,900, that tells me momentum now shifting back down, and then we should start to see a bit more of a follow through on the downside. So that's what I'm looking for there, guys, on there. Now, again, this is on the day. This is looking at the daily candles and seeing where momentum is shifting. You can get so much information from learning how to read the charts properly and looking at the short-term momentum. Now, that's obviously what's happening day by day. On a bit more of a larger picture, if I go to the Dow Jones, and I haven't done this yet, but if I bring up my Fibonacci tool from the high to low, you actually can see that we're clustering around just above that 60% level there. So it's going to be really, really, really interesting to see what happens. I did a bit of analysis yesterday on the 1937 market. So I did a bit of analysis on that. And the thing is that the first drop, okay, so let me do this here. So the first drop, so this market through here to here. So the first drop from there to there was obviously, if we're comparing this to 1937, if you're comparing this to 1937, when the market came down, what ended up happening was in 1937, if you're looking at a similar retracement, as Ray Dalio says, this is very, very similar to 1937. If we're looking at a similar retracement to the 1937, then the market has done exactly percent retracement, the exact percent retracement as it did back in 1937, which is really, really, really interesting. Ray Dalio has always said that this is very similar to the 1937. We did get a big pullback down through here, a nice drop in the markets. And now this pullback, now guys, a pullback means against the trend, whether that's down or up. We've had a downward trend, so this pullback is against the trend, right? A counter trend. So this pullback here, this pullback here, which is the percentage of retracement where it is right now, is literally smack bang on of exactly the 1937 as well too, after we had the pullback and so on and so forth. So this is very, 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 very similar to what actually happened in 1937. Now, if you know what happened in 1937, what ended up happening after a while when it got this retracement? It did this. Now, initially, the very first drop down from here to here was very sharp. And I'll do this here. Let's go over here a bit more. Okay, so it was very sharp, and then we had a rally. So it was very, very sharp. Then we and then we had a bit of a rally, and then we slowly stepped down over the period of say 8 months or so. So if this is very, very, very similar to 1937, which it's like the fundamentals are very similar to 1937, like Ray Dalio talks about. But not only that, but the charts right now are almost identical to 1937. So we have a very good chance of having a sharp drop down, and possibly down even back down towards the lows through here. Then it's likely to slowly step down. Then so then we're likely to slowly step down in the markets. So that's what I'm seeing there right now, guys. What's happening right now? Are we about to see a turnaround in the markets? Well, we're getting very, very close to those points there. And for me personally, on the Dow Jones, we're right at that X marks the spot on the Dow Jones. So we're right here, high, lower high. So we have this high up here, lower high. And now we're getting a lower high through here. And now this could be, look at this here. All my trend lines here are coming right into the cluster of this point through here. If we start to see a close below this sort of 24,200, that's going to be a momentum shift. And on that side, then we should start to see a bit move to the downside. Now, I don't know if exactly it's going to be a bit a move to the downside, but I mean, like, if it does go to the downside, I don't know exactly how deep that's going to be. No one knows, right? We can just keep going day by day by day and following what the market's telling us. So that's what I'm looking at there right now, guys. The market has continued down. The market has continued to make lower highs through here. Momentum right now on the short term is still up, but once that starts to shift, then this overall picture, okay, the overall picture is definitely down. Okay. So let me make one thing clear here. Right now, there's sellers in control, okay? Because we have a downtrend. But when we look at the short-term momentum based on the day-by-day candles, right now the momentum is still up and it hasn't shifted to the downside yet. So that's what I'm looking at there, guys. That's what I'm focusing on right now. And that's the differences, right? Meaning, like, as we know, with the market, what ends up happening, we have a drop and then we have pullbacks. We have a drop, we have pullbacks in a downward trend, in a downward market. With that being said, that's the momentum shifting, right? From the corrections to the, from the trend continuation moves to the pullbacks. And that's basically what we're looking at there. So, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat box and I'll be gladly to help you guys out and go from there. Once again, guys, if you haven't done so yet, then as I said before, For people who join the Master Trader Lab, so go to mastertraderlab.com. For people who join that, I'm going to be doing a session over the next few weeks. And I'm going to be doing a live coaching session for the Master Trader Lab members. And I'm going to be revealing my #1 trading system. I trade on all the markets out there, and that can generate up to a 90% success rate, and also exactly what you need to do to actually generate that success rate. How do you need to think about the markets? How do you need to approach the markets, and so much more. So that's a bit of a special I'm running there, guys, but I'm only doing that for a short time frame. Let's do this now. Let me go through some questions, guys. I've got to put my little thing down here, right? I got to give my little membership a plug there. All right, cool. Let's go through some questions here now, guys. So I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, right now, it's looking really, really, really interesting to see what's actually going on through there. Let's have a look here. What's up from South Africa? Fantastic. It was a nothing day. The market looks for news to keep it propped up. It's almost all ready to tip. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know whether that's true or not, whether they say, you know, the market's looking for the news. I'm not sure whether that's true or not. But what I do say is that with the markets itself, the markets are going to move, right? Remember, the news out there, they are paid to report on the markets. They are paid to report on the markets. So they have to come up with something for the reason why something happened in the market, right? It's like the market went up today. Why was that? Let's find out a reason. John, I'm waiting for good news reversal on XRP for a long-term position. Waiting for the buyers to come in. Buyers are in control on the daily chart before I get in. I believe in Ripple in long-term 5 to 10 years. All right, cool. Or if that's the case, let me bring up. Let me bring up this here. Let me bring up investing.com. Because I haven't got my trading platform open for my futures, forex, crypto market, and so on and so forth. I haven't gotten my my trading platform, so I'll just go to investing.com. I'll tell you what, the crypto market's been pretty wild lately, and I'll go to XRP and I'll share with you what I see on the XRP there. I personally do believe in the crypto market, guys. Put it this way, with the crypto market, guys, we know, right? If you think about the crypto market, what is the crypto market? The crypto market is connected to, is a lot to do with the blockchain technology. We know the blockchain technology is going to be revolutionary in the next 10 years. That's going to be part of a lot of different things in our markets. Look back what happened. Look back what actually happened in when the internet happened, right? We had the tech boom and the tech bust. And then only a few percent of all those companies in the tech bubble lasted, and then the market ran on. Same with the crypto market, right? We've had this crypto boom, right? And now we've had this crypto bust. The question is, which one of these are going to last out, and which ones are going to go to zero? I guarantee you 90% are going to go to zero, and the 10% are going to left standing, and they're going to be amazing long-term positions to hold on. But we don't know yet, right? It's still a few years off to see which one's going to be the last man standing and all that sort of stuff. So let me go. Oh, there we go. Crypto market. So that's the way you want to think about the crypto market, guys. And that's why you don't want to be with any position you get into, guys. You don't have to rush to get into anything, right? You need to just take your time. Don't be a rush to get into anything. You're not going to miss out. Don't be getting into something because you think, hope, or fear. Well, I think this is going to happen, so let me get into it. No, wrong way to think about it. So let me have a look here on the XRP. Yeah, especially FOMO. Don't be trying to jump into silver and gold right now because you think something's going to happen, or crypto market, or any of this sort of stuff. Okay, please. You guys know, if you've been around for a while, if you've been trying to jump in this market, you'll be fearful of missing out. The only thing you're fearful of missing out is you. Is the only thing that's going to be wrong is you not sticking to the plan, and you saying, man, I wish I was back at break even now. I wish I was back at break even now. So let me go to the weekly chart here, guys. for XRP. And then for me personally, guys, and this is where it comes down to just really understanding how to read these charts here. You can see we had this major high point up here. Okay, this major high point up here. And then we came down. Let me open up this chart a bit more now. Oh, there we go. Let me squeeze this up a bit more. There we go. So then we came down and we made this high through here. All right, you know what? Actually, let me get the good old Snagit tool out. There we go. A good old Snagit tool. All right, and so then we made a, let's do this here. So then we made what? Then we made a, this was a high up here. This is a lower high, lower high, lower high, and this could be classed as some sort of lower high. So as you can see, right, even though we've been getting rallies in the markets, what has that weekly chart been telling us? Exactly like what, you know, exactly what I've been saying in the last few weeks about the stock market, that we've been getting lower highs. And any of these, I guarantee you right here, so many people would have thought the bull market's starting. And then we drop down. The bull market's starting. Like this one here, right? Look at this big, look at that nice sharp, this is a weekly chart, by the way, guys. Look at that sharp rally. Look at that big sharp rally. But guess what? Market is still doing what? Lower highs. Now, we don't know when at that time, we don't know when the lower high is going to come in, but don't ever try to think that the market has changed, because I guarantee people, you know, the bull market's starting right now. It went from 40 cents up to 90 cents. Let's get into it. And then it sells off, and then it sells off, and then it sells off. For me personally, for me to get into any of these, like XRP, right now anyway, I would really like to see some activity for this to hold and start to rally back up and start to give me some bullish, some sort of bullish momentum like that above this sort of 55 cents, probably the 60 cent level. If that happens and we can hold here like a big double bottom, then yeah, that would say, okay, you know what, this looks like it's now starting to gain some legs here. But until that happens, you don't want to be fighting the market. I hope that makes sense. So don't fight the market, guys, because we don't know what's going to happen. Lanka, 1929 or 1937? 1937. 1929 was very similar to 2008, 2009. Right now is very similar to 1937, where fundamentally, if you look at the fundamentals or geopolitically, we have the rising power, right? I think back then it was Japan and the United States. Right now we have China and the United States coming together. Same with the debt bubbles and so on and so forth. So 1937. John, did you watch the? No, I didn't, Yanni. No, I didn't. Makes sense. Thanks for the videos and info. No problem. The market is most definitely looking for news. No, I wouldn't say it's looking for news. It's just flowing, really. The really interesting thing is, guys, is as the market flows, it's like you can see what's happening in the markets. And if something happens, like if we get a big down candle, oh, we got a big down candle because of this really bad news or because of this thing here. But the market was already weak anyway in the first place. So they've got to come out there. If you are in a trade but you are not comfortable, would you get out or would you let it run to take profit or stop less? Harish. See your question there. There's so much wrong with that question there. If you're not comfortable with the trade, the first thing is that why would you be getting into a trade, a position that you're not comfortable with? That's the first thing. The second thing is that whenever you get into a position, you must have a plan of when you're going to get out and when you're, and how you're going to exit that trade, whether you're going to scale using a scaling technique. So maybe move your stop loss up or something like that, or something like that, or maybe use a moving average for a short term or something like that. But you need to have a plan. So when you get into the trade, you know exactly how you're monitoring that position. There is no emotion with my trading, guys. There isn't. It's like, okay, I'm getting into this trade right now, and this is how I'm going to manage it. And if the next candle does this, then I do this. If the next candle does this, and so on and so forth. So you have to come right back to that there. So that's emotional trading there. You're getting, and that tells me you got into something because you just thought it was a good idea, not based on some proven plans and so on and so forth. So that's my answer to that. Possibly 50 to 60% bearish retracement before continuing bull move. Profit. When you say that, you are trying to think. You're trying to think that you're smarter than the markets. As I showed you there right now, just on the crypto market, right? That whenever the market is making those lower highs, the market is telling you that the sellers are still in control right now as I speak. The market is saying that sellers are still in control as I speak right now. And so you trying to be smarter than the market and saying, well, possibly a 50% correction, and then the market's going to start. That's you thinking. That's not trading what you see right now. And so what you see right now is the market still clearly making lower highs. So the sellers overall are still in control. Remember, guys, just because the sellers are in control doesn't mean we're not going to get pullbacks. That's the normal part of the markets. Okay. But the overall sentiment in this market is that sellers are still in control. Even though we've had a nice rally for the last month, the market is still making these lower highs. And just like I said there with the XRP weekly chart, right? For the last 12 months, I guarantee there's been so many times we've got sharp rallies, and then what happened? We sold off. Big sharp rally, and then sold off. That's what the market does. It gets you sucked in to think the bottom's in, but it's something simple as that. Don't fight the market. You're not smarter than the markets, and I'm not smarter than the markets. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. All I can do is read the market for what it's telling me right now and then respond to what the market is telling me right now. Who gives a rat's about the crypto? Hey, Trent, my number one. Well, you know what? Trent and Jesse, the thing is this, guys, okay? Just because you don't like something doesn't mean there's other people out there that don't like it, okay? Or that do like it. Just because you guys don't like it doesn't mean there's other people out there. It's called just being humble, having humility, and say, you know what? Yes, there are other people. There's other people out there that actually like these markets and like trade these markets. It's not for me, but okay. You don't have to come out there with a hard hitting negativity for people who actually like the crypto market, because I'm telling you right now, there's plenty of people who are actually actively trading the crypto markets, not buying and hold for position size, but trading and doing really well from all this volatility. So yeah, so have a bit of humility in that, and just because you don't like something doesn't mean you have to come out there and start to have a go at those people who do like it. I'll have a short on ETH, hoping it hits. Justin, ETH. I have a short on ETH. Hoping it hits 160. Hoping it, or at 116. Huh? Hoping it hits 120. Am I looking at the right market here? Maybe not. No FOMO. That's right. No FOMO. What happens when global warming sets in? You know what, Jesse B? When that happens at the time, worry about it when it happens at that time. For right now, it's not Ethereum. Oh, okay. Oh, okay then. Yeah. It's if it happens, respond to whatever's happening at that time. Okay, respond to whatever's happening at that time. So when it happens, then worry about it then. You can't be worried about something that hasn't happened yet. You're just going to do your head in. AOC, low waste of time. But she's exactly what they look for. Stupid, young, easily manipulated person to run for office someday. Dow Jones, 18,000, buy gold, silver. Never trade based on what you think, hope, or fear, guys. Never trade because you think something's going to happen. Never trade because you hope something's going to happen. And never trade based on fear, like fear of missing out. Because every single time you get into a position based on what you think, hope, or fear, it's never a good idea. I only enter the market when my trading plan says so. It's not because I think. It's like, no, here are the rules. Here's my entry point. This is where I'm getting in. There is no thinking. Don't you think that will another catalyst to charge the momentum to the downside? Something like the December. Well, it could be. Yeah, it could be. I do. Well, right now the sellers are still in control. So we still have a very good chance of seeing another leg down as I speak right now. So it's so important to see that. And once we start to get a nice close, probably below that 24,200, that's going to be the momentum shift. And yeah, we'll probably start to see a nice decline after that. But there's definitely no bottoming action right now. Yes, we've had a sharp rally, but the market's still stepping down, guys. Just like here, right? Just like here we had in November. Look at that nice move to the upside, sold off and came down towards mid-November. Up into December, made a lower high, and then sold off. So that's basically what you want to look at there, guys, okay? It really does come back down to that simple. And remember, there's two things in the markets that is 100% true. That if there's someone clearly in control, you don't want to be going against that. And secondly, is that even if there's someone in control, that's how, if you have sellers in control, downtrend, you have pullbacks. You have a buyers in control, you have an uptrend, you have pullbacks. That's how the markets work. All right, guys. So anyway, guys, well, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that session. Once again, guys, I am running a special for anyone that joins the Master Trader Lab. I'm going to be doing a live coaching session, walking through my #1 trading system that I trade on every single market out there and can generate up to a 90% success rate. I'll show you exactly what you need to do to generate a 90% success rate and how to approach it. I'm going to be doing that for the Master Trader Lab members. So head on down there, guys, and I will speak to you next time.